In this video, I'll show you how to make use of user-defined function within Power Apps. Now, before I go into user-defined function, let me take you through another way of creating a function. So if you are in a solution within a Power Apps, you have an option to create a function. So if you go to new, automation, and then you have an option to create a function. Now, this function is independent of any application. Once you create this function, this can be accessible through any of the application which you use within the environment by using a environment variable or using environment as a data source. I'm not talking about this function. I'm talking about a specific function within Power Apps Canvas app. Now, before we even work on this, what we need to do first, we need to turn on that UDF function. So if I click on settings over here in your Canvas app, go to updates, go to preview, and if you scroll down, you should be able to see a user defined function. Okay. Now, I will not turn it on as of now, but I will show you something. So, user defined functions are named formulas with parameters for logic reuse. Now, as you see an app object over here, right? Now, if I click on app object and if I see the property over here, do you see anything named as formulas over here? Now, as you see over here, this is that formulas. Okay, so we are going to make use of this formulas property. So let's start. Go to settings, updates, preview, and click on user defined function. It says a full page refresh is needed to apply the changes. Save your app before refreshing. Say OK, close, save this, save. I will, there's already an app with this name. So let me call this as ENV app. Okay, so let me call this as ENV app. Click on save. So this is a new app in which I have enabled the user defined function. Now, once this app is saved, let me publish it then. Okay, so let me publish this app. So this is an ENV app and it has two screens. So I'm operating on the second screen. Now, the goal for us is to use user defined function. Now, why would you use user defined function? Now, there are many functions which are available out of the box which can perform some operations within Power Apps. There can be a mathematical function, there are logical functions, there are string functions. So there are a whole bunch of different set of functions which are available out of the box. Now, what if the functions which are available out of the box does not solve your business need? You may need to create some custom function depending on the custom business logic related to the app which you're building or the problem which you're solving. So for that, you have something called as a user defined function. Now I'm going to take a very simple example of addition. Okay, so I will pass like three parameters maybe, and then I want that three parameters to be added and the result to be given to me. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select app over here. Okay, first I'm going to check whether that settings. So if I go into settings over here, go to updates, go to preview, and check whether the user defined function is turned on or not. Yes, it is turned on. I'll close this, go to the app. So I'm in the tree view. I select app, and then from here there is a property. So if you see the properties over here, so there is a formula property. So I go into the formula, and then first I'm gonna name the function. So let's name the function. So the function name which I'm gonna call is like add three values. So I'm just making up some function name, add three values. Now remember, this is the syntax. So you put an open brace and then you specify what will be your variable of the first operator. So op1 is my first parameter and the type would be number. Okay, then I will have a second operator and the type is again a number. You can play with various other data type. I'll just keep it very simple. And there are various data types to choose from: date, time, number, color, text, grid, boolean, hyperlink, untyped, time, date, etc. So I'll just keep it very simple. So there are three parameters input which I'm taking, and I will now So these are the three things which this function takes. Let's close this. But this function has to return something, right? Now the output of this function would be a number. So in order to show the output, I will just say colon and number. Okay. So this is the syntax. So you have the function name. In opening braces, you put the three variables or whatever number of variable you have along with the data type, and the return value is again the data type. But what is going to happen with this? Where is the business logic? So in order to write the business logic, you just specify equal to, and what are you going to do with that? So I'll say I'm going to op1 plus op2 plus op3, and remember, you need to put a semicolon after this, and then this your function will be ready. So what we have done, we have first named the function, we have passed parameters. So let me show you. This is the parameter which we have passed along with the data type we have specified, and this entire function will return the output as a number, and this is the business logic. Now you can make this business logic as complicated as you want. I can make this op1 minus op2 plus op3 divide by op3 or whatever is my business logic, or I can write a whole bunch of other functions, inbuilt functions within this logic. Okay, so this is my work area, so I can play around with this area. But for the demo purpose, we'll keep it simple. So we have this formula. Okay, so this is ready. Add three values is the name of the function. And how do we consume this? Consumption of this is very simple. If you want to have some sort of a display button over here, let me put this display button, the display text. Now we can make it dynamic, or we can make it hard coded as well. Okay, now if you want to put some sort of an input to the user, you can just put three values. So I have this three text box which user will type in the value. So there's text 1, text 2, and text 3. Now let me remove the text over here, remove the text over here, and remove the text over here. Okay, so there is no value. And if you want to see this one, the text canvas 3, text canvas 4, and text canvas 2. So text canvas 2, 3, and 4. Text canvas 2, the text is maybe I will I can make up some value. Okay, so whatever user will type in, I should get that value outputted. Now here I have a button, so I can take this as a button. On click of this button, something should happen. So on click of this button, maybe I will call that function. Now that function is simple. The function is add three values, and then you need to pass op1, op2, op3. Now text canvas 1, so let me name this button properly. That, so I'll call it as txt1, txt2, and txt3. Okay, and now here we will just type in txt1. Did I name it incorrectly? So this is okay, txt3, txt2, txt1. So txt1, txt2, txt3, button 1, txt1, comma, txt2, comma, txt3. So I'm not doing any conversion. I'm just passing in the value. But this will not like it, okay? Because what we want, txt1 dot, what is the value? Text, txt2 dot text, txt3 dot text. Okay, and let's see again. It says the function add three values has some invalid arguments. Now you need to actually convert this. Okay, so the conversion function which we are going to use is maybe a value, and I'm enclosing this over here. So value txt2.txt, value txt3.txt. This is the first operator which we are converting. This is the second operator which we are passing, and value. The function value has some invalid arguments. So I think this is coming because the text is not in proper case. And this is the value which I am sending. Now, once you click on it, it will perform that operation. But if you want to show the result, so maybe let's show the result over here, and maybe let's put some, say, background color or something, and this here I'm going to get the output. Now this one should be, say, let's assume I'm just telling that this is coming from var sum, so I'm making up some variable. Okay, so text is coming from var sum, and the button, the result of this will be saved. So I'll just say set var sum comma, so the result of this function execution will store the value as the var sum. Okay, and I'll just click on save, play it, click on the button, and it will give the value as 0. Okay, now let me close this because there is no value available. So let me go into text 1. So this is text 1, and text 1 I'll just put a background so that I can see. Then I have text 2, and let me fill the background with something else, and I have text 3, which is here, and I'll fill the background with, say, some other color. So these are my variables. These are my text inputs. Let me play this, and here currently I do not have any value. You can make this as an input value, but for time being I will just put some value. So I'll just say this is 20, this is 10, and this is 30. So 20, 10, and 30 is the out value. So total should be 60. So let's run this again. Click on button, and then it will give you the value as 60. Now if you go ahead and change the value, then that output will also be changed, but it won't be specifically dynamic. So now the value should be 70. So you need to click on this button. So let me run this, and then the value will be 70. So so the goal, the entire exercise, what we have done over here is to make use of a custom function which we have built. So here, as you see, what it does, it will call that custom function. So on click of a button, you're calling a custom function, assigning the output to a variable, and then you're assigning that variable to a output control, which is again a text canvas. Now I've given you a very simple example, but the things can go very complex. You can build a very custom logic. Now, the only place where you need to build this is, like, if you go into the app, you will see that there is a formulas area. Now, here you can write the function. Now, one of the function which I've written is this, which is technically add three values, which takes three parameters along with the data type. It will give the output of the data type, and then you need to specify the business logic and make sure that you end the function name and the function definition with a semicolon so that you can start writing other statements within the same area. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically use user defined function within Power Apps Canvas app. Thanks for watching.